Okay, we're going to create a short data log example here for you. I've already got HMI tool pulled up, and we're just going to call it data log. I'll select the 4.3-inch screen, go to next, and we're not going to actually pull data from a PLC right now, but out of habit I'll select Modbus anyways, and we'll do a couple of the standard things, like I set the screensaver time to 0 so that it doesn't blank out after a minute, and the clock, I like to sync that up. And from there, okay, so we're going to record some data and then we'll transfer it to a USB drive. And the way we're going to do that is we'll right click here on the historic data collector, and I'm going to call mine slider values because I'm going to pull this out with slider. You can select what causes it to sample. I'm just going to use the standard timing 1 second, and you can pick the total numbers of samples you're going to take, and then you got to add whatever data you're wanting to. So I'm going to pick a local word 0, and I'll define a slider that uses it in a minute, but I'll just call it local word 0. You could be pulling this directly off a PLC if you wanted to. That would work fine. Slider value, and we'll go with an OK there. Now we're gonna, I'll put a slider to actually create some data. For mine going right to left, and we'll go 0 to 400. 400. Okay, nothing too special about that. And we will, I'll show you, if you go to the help, which you can find right here, click that help, it'll pull this up. If you were to type USB in here, you could pull up the export data via UDisk. That's going to show you how to export things on the USB drive, and there's going to be this will talk about exporting historic data. It's going to tell you right here that if you turn this bit on, it will actually write the data that you've been storing on the HMI. It'll write that out to USB when you turn that on. So I'll create a bit switch at that address, and we'll go ahead and monitor it. And all you have to do is set it on. It's gonna, when it's done with its operation, it'll automatically turn itself off. And I'll just call it write to USB. Write to USB. And we'll set that here. Okay, now some of this I can't show you, but I am plugged into the HMI, and I'll describe what's going on. So I've got it all compiled and sent to the HMI, and now it's restarting. And right now I don't have the USB plugged in. You don't have to start out. You can do that later on when you want to retrieve it. It's not going to affect anything. So the screen's loading right now, and I'm just inching up with my values. I'm going up to 400 now. I'm going back down a little bit, just so I've got a little bit of data there. I'll go back up again, and now I'm going to pause the video, and that's because it does want to record for just a short period of time. I don't want to bore you with that. You don't have to record for the full number of samples that you requested. Like I requested 1,000, so whatever 1,000 divided by 60 would be the number of minutes we need to wait. You don't need to wait that long, but you do have to wait a minute or so for it to work. So I'll pause this for a minute. Okay, I just waited a minute there, and now I plugged in a USB drive into my device, and I'm going to click I'm going to click this button right here, the write to USB. I did that. A little thing came across the screen telling me it was doing that operation, and now I'm going to plug it